Hello, guys. Welcome to Zeke's pod from the 608 to the 956 and everything in between. Thank you for joining today's episode and enjoy. Thank you for coming on, Dr. Esther.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
First thing I would love to start off, right, is you do you're mostly in the IV fluids, right? You help let's say, for example, like me, right? MMA fighters, after big weight cuts, you help them ingest a bunch of fluids, right? And I guess, the first things, what is considered fluids, like to define fluids?
I always say water is life. Water is critical to every living organism. Plants, 70% of the earth is water.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah. 70% of the human body is water. 80% of the human brain is water. So we truly are water beings. That's how important water is, even for us as human beings. And that's some of the things I found out when I got into this IV infusion business. My background is critical care. I've worked in the NICU with babies. Then I went into anesthesia. So I've always been in critical care most of my career. But when I decided to go into the IV infusion business, it was a personal thing for me. I'm naturally anemic. So I'm always on the go, but I always use the word, I'm tired. Then I came in contact with IV infusions and I realized how important that was for my cells, because not all of my cells are sickle. None of my cells are round. Some of my cells are sickle. So what happens, they do cluster, which happens to even those who don't have the sickle cell trait. So that's where water comes in. So when you give hydration to us through the IV, to the human body through the IV, it's like your cells are like, thank God you're feeding me. They're happy because that's where they thrive. All of us, every part of our body is cells, every part of our body. So that's what makes hydration key to human survival. People will say, but I drink a lot of water. Yes, you do, but 50% of that is absorbed in your GI tracts. So only about 50% gets into your cells, into your blood cells. That's what makes IV infusion different, because when you give it, 100% of it goes into your cells.
I didn't know that. I just thought, like, maybe I'll drink just more cups of water. I don't even know how much of water to drink, but I assume just to drink more is probably just the best, right?
Yes, drink as much water as you can. And it's great to drink water. Where IV infusion comes in is it's a boost. So it gives you that pick-me-up instantly. So I always recommend to most of my clients, at least get it once a month. Once a month. You keep drinking as much as you can, but then get that IV infusions once a month. With what you do, maintenance once a month is great, but then if you have like a fight coming on, or you're training super hard because you have something, you even want to do it more because you're losing a lot of body fluids during that training.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Yeah, definitely. I even have some crazy stories about I was doing training with MMA, and I've done like 3-4 training sessions per day, and then I'll finish off at the night with like a sauna or a steam bath. And one time I actually passed out in the steam bath because I was I didn't have enough electrolytes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've lost a lot of body fluids doing all of that. Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't rehydrate properly. Yeah. There was some guy luckily I passed out, and some guy at the gym, shout out to Jimmy. But he was a nurse here at DHR, and he knew exactly what to do. He like put my legs up so that the blood flow would come, and then I guess he gave me some like candy to spike the insulin, and somehow
sugar level.
My sugar levels were like super down, the glucose. Yeah. So ever since that, I've taken my hydration pretty seriously, especially during training, and especially during traveling as well. You're traveling around different climates. I was traveling out there in Nevada, and it's super hot. Yeah. So I know you've been in Nevada, correct?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah. Just for fun. And seriously, that's where I would say hydration even started. People did hydration, this has existed for many years, but it was only available to the wealthy ones, that could bring that to their homes, to their personal space, because you would never be able to get IV infusions before, except you went to the hospital or you went to the emergency room. It's not something that was available. So this a new concept to the populace, but it's always existed among, the welfare. They will bring people to their house. Their doctor visited at home, but that's not but now it's available to everybody. So that's the beauty of it. And that's preventative medicine other than treatment, because that's the goal. Why go to the hospital just to get IV fluids because I'm vomiting and I'm dehydrated? When someone can come to your home, or you can just come to my office and get it done. You don't have to spend that $600 for emergency. It reduces. It actually makes it available for those who truly need emergency services to get access to healthcare. So that's the whole point of this.
Wow. Yeah. And with your business, you could just go to them.
Yes.
And you help a multitude of people, whether it's athletes doing resistance training or any cardiovascular training, to also people that are, do you help all types of people with arthritis? Yes. Do you help ladies that are going through pregnancy?
So we do. Yeah. Yes. There was a very good client of mine. Her first pregnancy, she was in the hospital all the time throughout the first trimester because she was always having the nausea and the vomiting.
Wow.
And, our insurance covered it because I went to her house to infuse her every single week.
Wow.
For the first 3 months of her pregnancy. And she was like, this is the best pregnancy for me, So I work with OB/GYNs and I send my information to them. I work with a lot of cancer patients because they're immunocompromised and they want to boost their immune system while they're going through chemo or radiation. So I give them high-dose vitamin C for that period.
Oh, wow.
So yes, seriously.
And everybody. You help people on the spectrum, right? They could have cancer and they could also just have a basic cold, basic flu.
Yes, absolutely. Flu. My business actually started during COVID. I started August of 2020 during COVID, and yes, I infused a ton of people and helped them stay away from the hospital, from going to the hospital and be admitted for COVID. Yes, so yes,
that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you could wait until you get sick and then eventually go to the hospital and they'll inject. I mean, and sometimes they'll go through a list of things before injecting you with just fluids, right? They're like, okay, well, maybe you need the COVID shot, or maybe you need this, or maybe you need this, when all you really needed was just to be hydrated.
Yeah, to be hydrated. Most people, there are people that will need antibiotics and stuff like that, So, yeah, depending on what the person is doing. Some people will need antibiotics and they have to get it from their doctor, but do they really have to go to the hospital these days for all of those things? No. There's so many things you don't have to go to the hospital for these days, to be honest.
Yeah. It's crazy that that hydration isn't a thing that a lot of people talk about, and I don't know if it's because it's not, especially in the fitness community, right? Hydration is not talked about too much. I don't know if it's because it's not sexy, or they just love to talk about like different supplements, creatine or testosterone, or other things that could help them enhance their performance. Mm-hmm. But really, hydration does all that.
The bottom line.
Yeah,
and it's even the bottom line of all of those things, because you give yourself all these steroid shots, but you're not hydrated, you're going to end up not better. 100%. You can even collapse from it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So hydration is actually the bottom line of every other things, you supplements you take, because most of the things we take are actually considered acidic. So we're actually creating an acidic environment for ourselves with most medication.
Really?
And we thrive in an alkaline environment, because when a child is born, you have no acid. Then eventually, as environment, what we eat, all of that builds up acidic environment in us. And that's why we have a lot of diseases actually.
Really?
So, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So I would definitely take the supplements that you need, but hydration is very, very, very important. It's the baseline for most of the things that we do.
Yeah. It's like you said, like everything is 70% water.
Yes.
Without it, I'm sure our function as a human decreases. Right?
We truly cannot. We truly cannot function without. Nothing can function without water.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that as we're I guess brought into this world, we have no, or like very low levels of acidity.
Yes.
And as we consume things and
environment and all that, we become our environment becomes more acidic inside. Yes.
Wow. I guess the alkalinity, how important is that in I guess water and hydration?
Well, it is, like I said, it's very important, but lowering our acidic level reduces things like cancer for it, because cancer can only thrive in an acidic environment, all the acid. So that's really, if we could truly make ourselves less acidic, I don't think we'll have as much cancer as we have these days.
Wow.
But yeah, because that's truly where cancer can thrive, in an acidic environment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to, on one of my old jobs, I used to do like water filtration, and I would always have to mess around with the water's pH level. I would have to make it either more acidic or so that it could be, because I guess I was taking like old ink and then separating that into water. And so that just reminds me of that. I guess adding different type of chemicals, right, can make it more acidic or less acidic.
Yes.
And eventually there's a balance, right, where the water, pH balance, where the water can be, I guess, environmentally safe and all that. But I love that you said that about.
There's so many things that people don't know, but like I tell all of my clients, you would never go wrong with having more water, because that's truly where we thrive. So you never go. I don't drink enough. I still don't. But then if I do infuse myself. So most of the time when I get infusion, I'll do 2 liters just to give myself. I would never travel without infusing myself. Wow. And I've been out of the hospital. I was one of those that never had COVID. My kids never had COVID. I infused everybody in my family, so my kids are very athletic too. They're in sports. So one of the things that they suffered from initially was cramps. The cramps at night, the muscle pull, but then it was because of water. So I just give them more water, so that's one of the things you'll see with young boys that are athletes. It's the muscle, the muscle cramps, and water would fix that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess there's a difference between having a lot of water and then having fluids, right? Because you could have a lot of water and potentially dilute yourself from, I guess, electrolytes and fluids and like that, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that's why the IV bag we give does have electrolytes. It mimics the regular, it's normal saline, which is the normal body fluids that we have.
Yeah, so ingesting too much water and not enough fluids or electrolytes, that could lead to something called hyponatremia, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, to be honest with you, you don't have a lot of electrolyte problem with younger people. However, it's important to still, have electrolyte supplement. That's where IV fluids also comes in, because just the normal saline itself has some sort of electrolyte. It has sodium in it and all of that balanced in that fluid, which mimics our natural body fluids. So that's what makes it different with the IV infusion too, because it comes with all of those things.
Wow. Yeah.
And we can always add more vitamins, So take, for example, with someone like you, I would say, you do a lot of muscle training. I would like, get some magnesium. Magnesium is an excellent medication. It relaxes all of the muscles. So when you've had like a very strenuous exercise, we had some of that to it. You can definitely add some calcium. You're young. I don't add it to all of my infusions anymore because I've had clients that have hypertension, and calcium causes muscle contraction. So it's one of those things I don't use as much anymore, just to prevent that. But there's just so many things, that one can always add. We customize most of our infusions to our clients.
Really?
So depending on what they're trying to achieve. With you, like athletes, one of our infusion has amino acids. So we had that to the fluids, the BCAA.
Oh, wow.
So we can truly customize infusions also to tailor to the client's needs. Yeah.
Wow. So you guys even add like supplemental, BCAAs, EEAs, different.
We can add all of that into the IV infusions.
Wow,
yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be using it more often.
Yeah. And with someone like you too, just regeneration of cells and focus and clarity with NAD. NAD is one of those medications that is now out there. Recently I got a lot of calls. Everybody asking me, do you do NAD infusions? I'm like, why is everybody calling for NAD infusions? Then someone told me, oh, it's on TikTok. I'm like, oh, okay. But it's on TikTok. I'm like, okay. So I was getting a lot of calls for that. And it's just truly helps with regeneration of cells, helps with mental clarity a lot, helps with energy boost. And that's what really NAD does. Yeah. It's a great medication, but it's a medication we have to give very slowly.
Very slowly.
Yeah. It also helps with those who want to recover from alcohol addictions and stuff like that. So I'm actually creating a program because I'm getting clients with that. So yeah, it's an excellent medication.
NAD.
Yeah.
NAD therapy. And can everybody take the NAD IV or I mean, who would recovering alcohol addiction, right?
Yes. But yes, most people can, to be honest with you. I always start with a low dose of 100 milligrams with most people. I've given 250. I've given 1,000 to myself just to see how it feels. 1,000 milligrams, which is the highest dose you would give. I give it to myself just, but it's a lot. So I won't give that to anybody. So it just depends on the client. I always evaluate everything based on every client. I give a free consultation, 15 minutes consultation to my clients to be able to determine what they want, what they're trying to achieve. Then we sit together and we customize an infusion for them. But then I also have my maintenance, like my regular menu for those who are like, oh, I just want to maintain. So athletes get my repair infusion once a month. For those who want, just maintenance of fluids, I'll be like, get my signature. It has all of the essential vitamins and minerals. For those who are flu, I have what I call the restore. So we have, regular infusions on our menu, but we can always, tailor to the client based on what they want. Yes.
Wow. I actually just want to go right now. Where is your office located?
So we have an office on Dove. That's always been our office since we started. It's on Dove. But right now, as at yesterday, we opened a new office in Mercedes. It's a bigger location in Mercedes, right off the highway, because we want to be able to cater to Mid Valley and Upper Valley. So we have our office over there in Mercedes open, and we still keep the office in McAllen.
Wow.
So just to be able to serve our clients, better, and we still do the home infusions as well.
Wow. Yes. You travel all over the valley.
We try all over the valley. We do try, but as we grow, we'll see where we can keep more infusion hubs to make it accessible to, our community. That's the goal of it. That's the goal, to have like infusion hubs so that people don't have to travel too far, or we don't even have to travel too far. So that's the long-term goal.
Awesome. How long have you guys been? Since COVID.
Yeah, August of 2020.
August of 2020.
When we started. Yes, so it's gonna be 5 years this year.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm excited. Yes. I'm excited for when I do have a fight coming up, or even just me training as right now.
Yes.
I'll definitely be.
I would definitely recommend to be on something maintenance. Once a month at least. Then when you do have a fight coming, then we can always tailor something to that, because you'll be losing more body fluids and losing more electrolytes during that training. But at least once a month maintenance will be great for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've even heard stories. I watch a lot of Joe Rogan, right? And I heard that somebody's lost, they've used IV fluids to lose weight. Is that possible to use? Would you recommend IV fluids for weight loss? So
it depends on what you're getting. To be honest with you, we can always put medications, like I said, into the IV bags. So take, for example, B12 helps with energy, but it also helps with weight loss. So we can put that in the bag. It can be given as an IM shot. So I would not say it helps with weight loss, technically, like fluid itself, because when you do get the fluid, you do feel a little bit overweight initially in that moment, but it's not something that retains your body. Your cells absorb those fluids. That's it. Yeah.
I've heard of a story of this guy just not eating any food for a whole year, but doing IV fluids, and he lost like 300 pounds.
So I get that. Okay, then because he's not eating at all, so he's just using the fluids to get his electrolytes and his nutrients in. So yes, he would lose weight because he's not eating at all.
I guess so he's just pairing IV fluids with fasting, right?
Yes. So he's not actually, he's not losing his vitamins. He's getting all the vitamins that he would normally get from food. He's getting it into his cells. Which is better, to be honest with you. It is better, but I would not tell anybody to not eat for 1 year.
I wouldn't tell anybody.
I would not tell anybody to not eat for 1 year. I think at the end of the day, I always say balance is key.
Balance is key.
Yeah, balance is key to whatever we do. Anything we do in excess has its deficit at the long run. So.
Yes. I think balance is the key word, right?
Yes.
Balance is the key word. Yes. Too much acidity, too much.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely need to have a balance. Well, and I guess what are the biggest harms of not taking fluids in, and just in general, right? I mean, other than being dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker.
It's key, especially here in South Texas where we live. During the summer, it becomes extremely hot, like really, really hot, and people are outside a lot. So it's, So dehydration is not fun. It's not a fun thing, Then also other than just even dehydration, then you get lightheaded from it. Like I said, if you don't have enough electrolytes, some people are low in things like vitamin D and things like that. So there's so much that can be done with IV fluids and some of the shots that we give in the office. So it just depends.
It just depends, right? Mm-hmm. Definitely depends on who's coming in and who's.
But we truly cater to everybody. I try to avoid children mostly, just because number one, they don't have a lot of things going on, and I've worked with kids a lot. So I always, when it comes to children under the age of 18, what I always do is I want to know what their weight is.
Yeah.
So I go with their weight. What's your weight? If their weight is an adult weight, then I just treat them like adults. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The fluids mostly, if I was to take just a regular IV fluid, what would it contain? Like just sodium?
The regular IV fluid pretty much comes with sodium and some a little bit of potassium in it. That's our regular body fluids that comes in the regular bag. Mm-hmm. That's what mostly sodium.
Mostly sodium.
That's what comes in the regular normal saline bag. If I decide to do something like lactated ringers, that comes with a little bit of potassium, a little bit of calcium in it. So yes, because there are different kind of IV bags too. So there's some that actually have glucose in it. I don't carry that. In fact, somebody asked of that for me today. That, do you have a D5? I don't carry D5. It has glucose in it. So there's different kind of IV bags, but the one I use the most is a normal saline, which is our normal body fluids.
Okay. And out of all the different IV bags, so D5, who would use something like that?
To someone who has like they have like low glucose. So the client that called me today was asking about, do you have D5? Because her mom has she's not been eating, so her sugar is a little bit dropped. So she was like, do you have like D5? I said no. She said, but she's weak. I'm like, well, what I can do is still give the NS, add some B12 to it to boost her energy. Then we feed her. So she'll be able to get her nutrients for sugar through the mouth, but she'll be able to get the hydration and some energy shots through the IV.
Through the IV.
Yeah.
Wow. So I probably, when I passed out, I probably would need something like the D5 or just take a regular IV.
And get some orange juice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. What does the cancer IV drip contain?
So with my cancer patients, I give them 50,000 milligrams of vitamin C with some vitamin B complex for better absorptions. And I do that because their immune system is compromised and is low. So the goal, which has helped a lot of my clients, is the goal, and I infuse them this every week when they're going through treatment. And, I guess one of them came in and said, you're the only one that does this in the Valley. And I'm like, I don't know. But I do that because it helps them to keep their immunity. Because cancer, people don't die from cancer. Majority of cancer patients, it's not the cancer itself that kills them. It's the respiratory infection due to immunocompromise. It's an infection that kills cancer patients. So my goal with that infusion is to keep their immunity up so they can fight infection better.
Yes. Okay. And for patients, like I know a lot of my family members contain like RA, rheumatoid arthritis.
Yes.
Do you think IV therapy would benefit from them?
Yes, absolutely. I have some clients that have come with that. And it's not even just IV. I do have something called ozone infusion that I do in my office too. So it helps with regeneration of cells. That helps a lot of patients with arthritis, with pain, even cancer patients, because it helps to regenerate cells and provide more oxygen to the body. So I have that machine in the office. It's called ozone infusion. So I take the patient's blood, I mix it with some ozone gas that is created from the machine, then I infuse it back to them through with UV light. So they get the UV light stimulates the brain to regenerate cells. It's like, so the way the UV light works is it tells the brain like repair. So it regenerates new cells. Then the ozone itself is oxygenation. Oxygenated organ is considered an healthy organ. So we do that combination in the office right now. So people with arthritis do benefit from that. People who have some pain benefit from that. But also even with hydration, if I have a client that doesn't want to do the ozone, then I would tell them, okay, you know what, if they're inflammation right there, I'll give them some Toradol to lower the inflammation. We give them some fluids because Toradol reduces inflammation and reduces the pain. And I've done that for a couple of clients in the office. I just sort of, like I said, I ask the client, what are you trying to achieve? Then we talk about it. And I'm like, okay, this suggestion or this suggestion. Then we go from there. But the goal for me is always when my clients leave to feel better than they came into my office.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah, so
yeah, I'm sure they do, right?
Majority do. Majority do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, I definitely do want to go and check out your office.
Yes. We have, like I said, infusion up here. It used to be our office, but now we have a bigger spot in Mercedes, which is going to be our main office. Yeah, from starting, yes, I did like a small launch yesterday for we already have clients since Thursday. So yeah, we're just taking it one day at a time.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to if you have your card, or maybe if I could organize something like a booth for a lot of like after training. Hey guys, come check out this.
100%. That's really my goal, to be able to collaborate with different people. And then if you have a group, give group discounts, mix it, because I've done parties,
Really?
For the hangovers, like.
I was going to ask about that. Yes. I was like, well, I probably should have asked about that earlier, but I'll ask again, but I'm sure for hangovers, right?
Yeah. The goal is always to not have hangovers. So we block the receptors before you even go party.
Okay. And, people with hangovers, right? Yeah. So DT, there's a big downtown over here in McAllen. There's a big scene, but you definitely help people with hangovers as well.
I do. I've had a lot of people call me when they're experiencing hangover, and we would help them, give them fluids. I'll do some Pepsi, some Zofran, give them some Toradol to help with the headache right there. But I always tell people, I'm like, if you already know, the best way is do it before. So
really,
when I used to drink, I would have. Africans, we like parties too, just like Mexicans. So I always have like 3-day, 4-day parties. So what I'll do for myself is before the party, before that weekend, is actually get treated. So I'll give myself the fluids, I'll give myself the Pepsi, the Zofran, the Toradol, block all the receptors.
Oh, wow.
Then I don't even have hangover. So I actually get to enjoy my party without the feeling of hangover afterwards. So
I didn't even know you could do that.
That's the best, because prevention over treatment, remember.
Yes.
So we're going to prevent having hangover rather than come and treat you when you have the hangover. We can do either one, but if you truly want to enjoy your party, wake up the next day and not feel like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah.
And you're better off just doing it before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Prevention's better than treatment.
Always better than treatment. That's the goal.
Wow.
Yes.
And what if you get a patient and they have some type of kidney problems?
Okay.
How would you go on about that? I guess because when they're taking the IV, filtering it.
Yes.
Yeah. So
with people that have end-stage renal disease or something, I would not do a whole liter with them. I'll do half, 500. Yes, and we'll give it slower. So that's what I'll do with those who have, because they don't filtrate, because they have kidney issues, they will not filtrate as much as who doesn't have kidney issues. So I'll do half a bag and I'll do it slower.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's really susceptible for everyone.
For everybody. Same thing with those who have congestive heart failure. I'll do half bag and I'll do it slower.
Wow.
Remember, I always say, for me, because I've been in critical care, I know these are the people I deal with. So I've dealt with a lot of sick patients. I do anesthesia. I get to see these people. So I have that background that helps me to know how to do this with my clients.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you did critical care here in Texas, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, I did it. I was at DHR in the NICU for 3 years, and I went back to anesthesia school in Pennsylvania, then came back and I've been working as an anesthesia provider here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I always have seen patients from when they were born tiny to, and I've treated 100 years old.
Have you seen any really, and I mean, you've seen a multitude of people in critical care here at DHR, right?
Yes.
And do you think there's just some that, man, if they would have just had an IV treatment, everything would have been a little bit better?
So it just depends on the underlying, what the person is dealing with. IV fluid is not the solution to all problems. It depends on what their problem is, to be honest. So that's why you have to evaluate patients or clients, based on one-on-one what they're going through.
Definitely.
Yes. It's not the solution to everything, but it's definitely a solution to many things.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it has to deal with hydration.
Yes.
Hydration is key.
Water is life.
Water is life.
Yes.
I like that. And is there any supplements other than, I guess like because there's a bunch of Gatorades, and I have my own opinion on Gatorade just because it has so much sugar and so many other like chemicals like Red 40, and depending on what color it is, there's tons of food coloring additives. But I mean, if I was to compare that, it'd probably be the bottom tier of hydration.
Yeah.
IV fluid.
Yes,
Top tier.
100%.
Wow.
Yes.
Is there some that hydration tool supplements that you might recommend other than IV, or did you say IV is the top?
It's funny you ask that, because right now I'm doing a lot of collaboration. So over the years, I've realized that, my clients come in once a month, but what do they do over the month? So I got, collaboration with a particular company recently. It's called Manatech, and the underlining of their product is called, they use the glycans. So the glycans help at the cellular level for cell-to-cell communication. So I personally started using it, and I'm carrying their products right now because I was able to solve the problem of hydration. But then another thing I realized that was critical for a healthy person is your gut health.
Is your gut health?
Gut health. So I wanted to look more into gut health, because I always start everything with myself. I was like, okay, how do I maintain weight? How do I, if not, feel constipated? How do I help myself with my acid reflux? So I started doing more research into that, and I came in contact with this company, and their GI system is great. Like when I say great, amazing. So that's what I'm looking in this year, and looking forward to introduce to my clients, and be like, okay, this will help you with your gut health. But even daily multivitamins, because of the underlining of how they actually patent their medication, because of that underlining formula that they use, which is the glycans. It helps with cell-to-cell communication. So whatever you use, your cell is communicating with this cell to say this is what it needs. If it doesn't need it, it doesn't utilize it. So when I researched into their company and how they use and how their formulary, I realized that it would be a good addition to my business. So I'm bringing that. Yeah. So when my clients go for the month, before they come back the next month, use these vitamins, I think it will really help you. So that's what I'm hoping to do going forward now.
Wow. So you'll even, after their treatment, to prevent certain things.
Before I see you next month, take this daily.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Caffeine.
Acid.
That's
what it means. Soda, acid. Caffeine, acid. Yes. Wow. It just keeps you in a more acidic environment. Yes.
I remember I had this one time I took some pre-workout, and I guess I was pretty low on hydration and pretty low on electrolytes. But I felt really a lot of almost anxiety, with the caffeine. Palpitations. Yeah. My heart was beating super, super crazy. And I didn't know what to do other than just, I guess I'm just going to drink more water.
Yes.
Try to, I don't know, my
dilute
thinking was like,
out.
dilute it out.
Good choice. Good choice, yes. And that's what happened with those things. To be honest with you, I don't think those things are going to be eradicated, because it, some people like the way they feel about it, clarity, focus, and stuff like that. But hydration becomes key in all of this stuff, to be honest. If you're taking all of those supplements, you definitely want to stay hydrated, because all those things are causing more acidity in your body. So hydration becomes key. Because can you imagine your heart beating so fast, but you're dehydrated, so it's not even pumping fluids, because once it's beating too fast, it's not taking time to contract and pump. Then if you're dehydrated, then even when it pumps, it doesn't have enough blood volume to pump out. I'm just trying to say it in the layman, explain how the heart works.
Yeah. And so, you pair that with maybe low electrolytes like magnesium, where it's not able to, the muscle's not able to contract.
Or like calcium, the body is not able to contract as much. The heart is not able to contract as much too, But young people would not deal with that problem of contractility. You have a young heart, so you're not going to deal with that problem. But the tachycardia, or the palpitation of your heart beating so fast, you're not giving your heart time to fill up, then contract. Fill up, because it's beating like this so fast.
Wow.
So you're not giving it time to fill up the heart chambers in order for it to pump out the blood volume. Then, how will I put it? put that together with you don't have enough fluid. So even when it does pump, then it doesn't have enough blood volume to pump. So that's where hydration also plays a role in that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Water
so
is
if you're
life.
going to make yourself your heart beat so fast from those medication, might as well want to get well hydrated before you take them.
Yeah, because
Yes.
everything you take has some type of acidic.
Most things we take is some type of acidic, to be honest. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like I need to take one right now. I don't know. I feel like with everything I've been consuming, and I know I'm sure a lot of our viewers are very into fitness, so they take pre-workout, and other caffeinated drinks. But I'm sure that
it will be great to add that to their regimen. Because like I said, you cannot eradicate that. People like the way they feel about it. People like the fact that it makes them feel hyper and energy. So if you're going to do that, at least do the other part. That's what I would say.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. 100%. So walk me through. I go into your I scheduled an IV.
Yeah.
How would that work? I go to your office, or you guys come to me as well in McAllen. I live in McAllen, right? What's the first thing that happens?
So that's seriously, we give many options to our clients. I want it to be convenient. Someone told me one time, it's the experience and the convenience. That's always the goal. You give a good experience, but you also make it convenient for the clients. So that's why we do the mobile services. That's why we have our second location in Mid-Valley. So you go into our website, you book the appointment. We get the notification that someone booked an appointment. We reach out to you and and make sure that the time that you booked, works with us being able to send a nurse to you. We just don't want you to not have a nurse coming in. So we'll call you to be like, okay, we do have a nurse for that time, or we have a nurse for an earlier time or a later time. When you come to our office, we used to be just by appointment, but right now we're going to be having our offices open at least for now, Monday, Tuesday for walk-ins.
Oh, wow.
So we just started that. So we're going to have Monday, Tuesday for walk-ins between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. for walk-ins. But then every other day is by appointment. So we were just trying to, grow into the walk-in appointments. Yeah. So.
Awesome. Yeah. And so let's say I go for a walk-in, a nurse would attend me. I mean, I'm having these problems, or I just want a regular IV drip therapy. Usually takes about 20 minutes, an hour.
It takes about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour for a full bag of 1 liter. Okay. So if you're already a client of ours, you would have already filled out the intake form, which we have in our system. If you're a new client, you have to fill out the intake form. So we have like your medical history in our system. Okay. So then if you come in and there's an update, we just ask, is there a change to your medical history? If there's no change, we already have you in the system, and that doesn't go away. Perfect. So we have clients in the system since 5 years ago that we started. So if there's no new thing with you, then it's the same. If there's an update, then we update it right there. So that's pretty much how it works. So we have your medical history, then, depending, like I said, what you want to achieve that day. If it's like, I'm not feeling well, I have some flu, some cough, then we'll recommend something for you. If it's, I'm just wanting my hydration for maintenance, then we'll recommend our signature drip for you because it has all the essential vitamins and minerals. So yeah, then we'll go from there, and it takes about 45 minutes. 45 minutes to an hour.
To get the 1 liter.
1 liter, yes.
Okay. How much water do we need, or how much fluids do we need as an average person?
As an average person. So our blood volume as an average person is about 5 liters. So to be honest, if we're able to, most people don't check what they are. That's what the textbook says. But most people don't check what their blood volume is. But I always say that an average healthy person can take too much water, because by the time you feel thirsty, you're already behind.
Yeah, really?
Yes. By the time you feel the test that you need to drink water, you're already behind on your fluids.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Because you shouldn't. Test is feeling thirsty means your body needs fluids. You're already behind by then. You shouldn't feel thirsty if you're well hydrated.
Wow, 100%. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you're feeling thirsty,
you're already behind on your fluids.
You should be on. Yeah, you're already behind your fluids.
Yeah.
Now, as for let's say an athlete or an average person, what are some protocols that you would say? You said that maybe an IV therapy once a month.
Yes.
Once a month.
For a healthy person that is for maintenance, I'll say once a month. For someone that works out a lot, you can consider it twice, but I'll still say once a month, except you're truly preparing for something. Then I'll say when I started IV fluids, I had to take it every 2 weeks because I was really behind. So most people are behind. That's the honest truth. So if you're just getting introduced to IV fluids, I'll be like, you want to do 2 weeks for the next 1 or 2 months, then we'll go to once a month. That's what I would tell the client. Because majority of people are behind on their fluids, on their hydration.
Okay,
Yeah.
Majority, right? And if somebody's sick, then fever or something, you would just do the regular, but add maybe vitamin C, zinc.
Vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin C, zinc. You got it. Yes, we'll add that to it. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll definitely add that to. I usually have a list of protocols that I try to follow. Like as soon as I wake up, I'll drink 1 bottle of water. You try to get the sunlight and a little bit of exercise, but definitely trying to consume most of my fluids 10 hours after I wake up, right?
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll add that to my protocol as well.
Yeah, well, at least once a month.
Once a month.
Yes, it would really, you will see the difference. And I always tell people, when you keep it maintained, you will see the difference. Like, you will not fall sick. I can tell you that for sure. You won't fall sick. You won't feel, like, I don't remember when last I went to the hospital, any of my family members did. I don't. Mm-hmm. Not because I do anything in particular. It's just hydration that changed that for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, because, I mean, especially, right, if you're dehydrated, your body's already going at a lower function.
You're more potential to pick up. Yes.
Wow.
To pick up something. Yes.
Exactly. Especially if you're at the gym too. Everybody uses the gym. There's germs, bacteria, every different types of viruses or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
awesome.
When it comes to cost for our infusion, it ranges from, I just want to get an IV bag, which is $100, to I want to get the signature drip and it's $250. So that's what it ranges from.
Okay, the different ranges of IV. What would you say is the most expensive? If somebody really wants to go all in and they want to get the best IV,
it's $250 for my signature drip. Like I said, it has I call it the signature drip. It has all the essential minerals and vitamins. Of course, if I want to do ozone, it's different. If I want to do something like NAD, it's different. Those ones are specialty infusions, but from just getting the normal sitting 1 liter bag that has no vitamins or anything is $100, to getting one that has all the essential vitamins and mineral is $250. Yes.
$250, and you could always add or tailor to that. And,
yes.
Okay. Yes. 100%. Well, during your time in the Valley, right? Have you seen a lot of people that are what other than hydration, right? Maybe other vitamins or minerals that people are missing 100%. That are
a lot of people in the Valley that I've seen is vitamin D deficiency. I see that a lot. Then I also see people low on iron.
Low on iron.
Yes, the anemic. That's what I see a lot in the Valley. So that's why this year I'm actually going to be adding some iron infusions to a therapy that we offer, because I've seen a lot of people come to the door and be like, do you do iron infusions? And I'm like, no. And I say no because iron infusion is one of those infusions that you can really get anaphylactic shock from.
Really?
So yes, I'm anemic, so I know, and I have taken it, and I have gotten a reaction from it, and I've had to treat myself with Benadryl. So for me, I always say I cannot sell what I can't buy. So when I already know what the feeling to expect, I can explain it to my clients better and already preempt what I need to take care of.
Iron infusions. And well, since you're anemic, right? What has your diet been mostly like? Like, how is your diet?
Yeah. So normally, if you're anemic, you're supposed to eat more organ meat.
Organ meats.
You get a lot of iron from organ meat, like the liver and the intestine and stuff like that. And and I used to eat it because I'm originally born in Nigeria. I used to eat it. But going to anesthesia school and studying every part of the human body, it made it hard for me to eat something. So when I did a whole class on liver, so it became very hard for me to eat liver, just knowing how much we beat up our liver. The liver is what, metabolizes every medication we're taking. The liver is a great organ. It can regenerate itself. So people that do drink a lot, they're damaging their liver. But the truth is, if you stop drinking and you do things like NAD and, you go through your counseling well and you get through that your liver will regenerate and recover itself.
Really?
Yes, it's an amazing organ. But that was one of the reasons why I stopped eating organ meat. I just know too much. Yeah, I know too much. I just stopped eating it. But yes, you can get a lot of iron from eating organ meat, like liver, like the intestine, the kidneys. They're very rich, especially the liver. They're very rich in iron.
Very rich in iron.
Yes.
So for someone that probably, like you said, low in iron, vitamin D, supplement organ meats. Vitamin D, I mean, from the sun.
I know, they say the sun, and it's great with the sun, but it's the early morning sun. It's not just the sun that we get in the afternoon and we get burnt out. It's the early morning sun that contains vitamin D. But that's one of the things that is very common here that I've seen. A lot of people are low on vitamin D.
Okay. Yeah. And
we can always add that to an infusion as well.
Vitamin D.
Yes, vitamin D.
B12, vitamin D. Okay. And you the valley, why here in the valley?
For me?
Yes, for you. Yeah.
OMG, I love the valley. I came to the valley October of, I think, 2010. That was when I came to the valley, and I just fell in love with it. It felt like home. I'm originally from Nigeria. It felt like home. The people are very family oriented. The weather, I liked it. I always call the valley my American dream.
Really?
Yeah, I love the valley, and the valley loves me. That's why the valley, the people, the ability for you to truly expand. There's so many opportunities in the valley. If you're very involved in the community, you get to find out that there's so much you can do in the valley that you can't do in the big cities, because there's a lot of people competing for the same thing in big cities. So for me, and the valley is just very family oriented.
Very tightly knit.
Yeah, so I love that about the valley. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like my values align with it, so that's why I'm here.
That's why the valley, right?
Yeah.
I guess. And what are your biggest, core values, right? As you.
As a person. First for me is honesty. Yeah, honesty. I still texted to someone today. I was like, after God's word that I hold highly important, my words.
Your words.
Yeah, my words. So honesty is a big thing for me. Loyalty and community service.
Service. And you've definitely, I've seen your page before, and you've definitely helped out the community a lot. You've participated in multiple events, right?
Yes,
correct?
Multiple events, multiple organizations, UTRGV. I teach at the school at UTRGV. I've taught nursing students. Currently, I'm helping with anesthesia with the podiatry students. So teaching doesn't pay you, but I do it because I want to give back, to be honest.
Wow.
So I am a true believer of community service. Yes.
Yeah. And here at the UTRGV, you'll do their classes or their clinicals.
I did clinicals for nursing student. For the podiatry student is class. I created the anesthesia course last year, and I taught them for the first time, and I'm doing the same thing again this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And when would that be this year?
April.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in April, we'll definitely shout that out in April.
Thank you. Yes, in April.
I feel is there anything that is there anything I'm missing out?
Well, we talked a lot about Ivy. Ivy has been primarily my business for the last 4 years. Right now, I'm transitioning. I literally changed my old business name from Vada Infusions to Soul Touch, because I'm incorporating. Over the last 4 years, I heard my clients, and I realized that when I'm sitting with them for 45 minutes to an hour, I'm either praying with them or I'm either coaching them about something in life. So I decided to incorporate the spiritual and the mind aspect to my business. So that's why I changed it to Soul Touch Wellness.
Soul Touch Wellness. Yeah. So is there anything that we, the viewers, need to know about you, and something maybe beyond infusions?
Yes, absolutely. The last 4 years, almost 5 years, I've done pretty much infusions. My business was called Vada Infusions. That's how I started. But one thing that's helped me a lot is listening to my clients. And I realized in the last 4 years, while giving infusions, I'm either praying with my clients, or, coaching them about something in life based on my own life experiences and what I've seen. So I decided to incorporate and completely change my business name from Ayurveda Infusions to Soul Touch Wellness, which is where we are today, to incorporate the spirit aspect of it and the mind aspect of it. So I pray with my clients, if they're dealing with, just dealing with things like cancer, with loss. I've seen people that come in just with loss, or they just got a new diagnosis, or people going through divorce or going through financial. I've seen it all. I've heard it all with my clients. Yeah. So I decided to get certified in life coaching with Napoleon Hill Institute, because I actually had a client come in one time. He's a young guy in his 20s. And, the mom told me, was like, he doesn't want to go to his therapist. He wants to come see Esther. And I'm like, I'm not a therapist. But that made me want to do more for my clients. Be that place where they can come and feel, safe. Yeah. So our new office in Mercedes has a meditation room. I call it the God room. Like, even if you just sit down there for 5, 10, 15 minutes when you come and just want to be quiet and just hear God. And my goal is in this year and the year coming that every client that walk into that place truly live healed. Wow. So that's where the future for Soul Touch is truly coming. And, I believe that when you are aligned in your spirit, your mind, and your body, you're in a state of ease. When it's not aligned, you're in a state of disease.
Whoa.
Dis-ease. I know. Yes, when all three is not aligned. So the goal is to get my clients aligned, not just in body, but in their spirit and in their mind. So we're incorporating that services as well going forward.
Wow.
With Soul Touch Wellness.
Soul Touch Wellness. Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
And our tagline is where wellness meets wholeness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you come up with this yourself?
I did. Intuitively. Yes, over the years, I realized that I'm an intuitive healer. More than just... But then, in life, you go around the circle until you get to what your calling truly is. And I feel like right now I have that definiteness of what I'm called to do. So
this is the purpose, the calling.
Yes.
And you can only get your purpose calling when your mind, body, soul are in it.
In alignment. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. That's something that I guess martial arts, right? Like, if you're not mind, body, soul, then you will be at dis-ease. You will be lost, confused. And I think that's a lot of where...
it doesn't matter what you do to the body, to be honest. Yeah. Our body can truly do whatever we tell it to do. So one of the things I do right now is, even if my body is not there, I'm like, okay, the mind wants to do this. The body is feeling tired. Okay, spirit, we need you to come in. We need to get in alignment together so we can get this done. And I'll just speak it like that to myself.
Wow.
And it changes everything.
Wow. So it just goes beyond IV therapy. It goes into, I guess, life. You call it life coaching, but really it's more like, I don't even know what the wellness.
Wholeness. Just being all in all, in totality.
Wow.
Yes.
One with yourself. And yeah. Wow, that's definitely the like philosophy that I try to follow. Yeah. Mind, body, soul. If those things are aligned, you'll be all right.
State of ease.
State of ease.
Yes.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to be thinking like, think about you, doctor. Yeah.
And to truly, it's my clients. I cannot thank my clients enough. I cannot thank them enough from just listening and hearing them. And it's changed my practice. It actually dictated how my practice went. It was my clients. I would always thank them because so many things I didn't know. Yes, I started with infusions just to help me. Then I'm like, this is going to be helpful to everybody. But over the years, it transitioned from my clientele 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it goes beyond more than doing just like the therapy. Like, what does it mean to be a doctor, right? A doctor is someone that helps not just the body, but the mind and the soul.
At least that's the kind of doctor I want to be. Wow. It's not just the body. Yes, that's the kind of doctor I want to be. Yes.
Yeah. And that takes a lot of, I guess, righteousness, right? It takes for you to take on a challenge for yourself to do the a higher calling.
Yes.
You have to aim high.
100%. And it's also fulfilling for me, you know. It makes me humble every day and in awe of life.
Wow.
You know. So why not?
Yeah, why
not do it differently?
Because if not you, then who?
Yes. So, yeah.
And you take on that responsibility.
It is a responsibility, but I also say it's a privilege.
Wow.
It's a privilege to serve humanity.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
Keeping it with gratitude.
100%. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And did you always kind of know you were gonna? I guess you knew you were gonna be in this path, but not exactly. Right? I mean, there has to be a sense of like believing in yourself and taking a step forward.
I cannot say I understood it, but you know, I've always been true to myself. More than anything else. I've always been true to myself. So I think that sort of guided my path. Don't get me wrong, I've derailed. You've always, you know, you derailed and you come back to the center. I always say one of my biggest prayer every day is, God, please don't let me get lost. Don't let me get lost, because I feel like we all get into, you know, whether it's success, you know, whether it's just life, whether it's challenges, and you can always derail us from. So I always say that prayer. Don't let me get lost. Always, you know, find me. I think that has helped me for sure. But I never knew how it all tied in, to be honest. As I said, I will always be grateful to my clients. You know, yes, I went into medicine. I know I wanted to help people, you know, and that's why I did it. So the heart was always willing, but I did not have clarity of how it was going to be. My clients helped me find that clarity.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so helping others
helped me.
Helped you. Mm-hmm. And everybody needs help. Nobody comes into this world with a blueprint of how one should do their things, right?
Yeah. But if you have the right heart, I think everybody would find their place.
Wow.
You know, people have asked me, I love the value, I've said it here, but do you speak Spanish? I'm like, no. But I speak love language, and that would take me anywhere. My language is love. So, yeah. And with that, everybody understands that language. So,
100%.
And that's what I stick by. Yeah.
I speak love language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because because you could feel, even when you walked in the room, I felt the absolute, I don't know if what the right word is, but it's just genuine care. I guess I was in awe of like, okay, this person is honest. This person is very genuine.
Thank you.
The way they carry themselves.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, definitely I'm very inspired by you. And I have a little bit of just talking with you. I believe in myself a little bit more just with talking with you, because definitely, right, I think we all even to who's watching as the viewers, right, we all get lost sometimes. But I think if you, like you said, you have a honest and open heart and an open mind, you'll find your path.
You'll find your way back. Yes, to the center. 100%. I agree.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, though. I really appreciate an opportunity. It's always a privilege to serve. Always.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have so many lessons to learn. It's gratitude. Yes. Thank you so much,
You're
Dr.
welcome.
Ester.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate you. Thank you for watching Zeke's Pod. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Zeke Does MMA. And I will leave you with this from Lex Friedman himself. Don't eat with people that you wouldn't starve with. Thank you for watching.